Good morning, my friends. It is time for the Morning Mindset. Are you ready? It is time for us to get our minds aligned with the truth of God, and that is hard work some days, isn't it? I don't know about you, but for me, it's actually hard work most days because I have lots of things in my mind when I wake up. Sometimes they're negative, sometimes they're actually good things, but they vie for attention. They all press themselves to the forefront of my mind most of the time and are trying to get themselves on the front of my radar so that I take care of them first, or I pay attention to them first. Now, it's funny because I realize I'm making this sound like these thoughts have thoughts of their own and that they are, a person vying for my attention. But I think you get the idea. That's just how we're wired as human beings. The things that are on our mind, the concerns, the pressures, the stresses, the responsibilities, they seem to pop to the forefront almost immediately when we wake up. It could take the form of stress. It could take the form of anxiety or just compulsion to get started on some project that you feel an obligation for. And the Morning Mindset is here to help us avoid letting those things run the show. And instead, we take control of our minds and we align them with the truth of God so that we can live our lives day to day according to His ways. We're going to do that this morning by looking at Psalm 127. Psalm 127 is one that has been helpful to me many times in my life because it reminds me of the things that really matter when it comes to my plans and the things that I'm wanting to accomplish in life. Let's read the beginning verses and we'll come back and talk about it. Psalm 127, beginning in verse 1, says, "Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for He gives to His beloved sleep." Now let's stop here for a moment and let's think about what these verses are saying to us. We all have plans. We all make plans, and we should make plans. There's nothing in these verses that is saying it's a bad thing for us to plan. But it is saying unless the Lord is the one behind the efforts, behind the plans, unless He is the one who is working in cooperation with you to make those plans come about, all of your efforts and my efforts to bring about certain plans will be in vain. Now, you understand that phrase, right? In vain, it means to no use. It will not accomplish what we are thinking it will accomplish. That next analogy that it gives us about a watchman watching over the city, it was a necessity in their day for a watchman to stay awake all night watching for enemies who might come to attack the city while everyone is sleeping. And as important of a role as that is, and as vital as it was for their survival, He's saying unless the Lord is the one protecting this city, the watchman's efforts are not going to make any difference. The Lord has to be the one overseeing the good of the people. Now, my friends, just those two illustrations alone give us some very important food for thought. We have got to make sure we are taking the time every day to align ourselves with the truth of God, like we do in the Morning Mindset, and even on a larger scale, beyond just our mindset, but according to the direction of our lives. We need to be seeking the Lord for the next step, for the next place that we move, for the next task that we endeavor to undertake, because it is His plans and His ways that will succeed, not our own. Boy, I hear the music in the background, and it feels like I've just gotten started with this because there is so much here the Lord is trying to communicate to us. So let's stop there, and let me just say this. My friends, are you diligently, day by day, seeking the Lord for guidance in your life? It may sound like a very elementary question for many who have grown up in the church or in Christianity, but it is one that needs to become habitual. Seek the Lord while He may be found. Call upon Him while He is near. Do that today, my friends, and join me again tomorrow as we continue on the Morning Mindset.